All right, good morning and welcome to Monday Morning Quartersback. My name is UltraDavid, and I'm going to be looking at, along with my co-hosts, of course, upstairs in the press box, some good old match analysis for Street Fighter V. Last weekend, a week and a half ago, I guess, Mono beat Punk for the Street Fighter V belt, the championship belt at CEO 2021. And he did it with FANG, entirely FANG. He only played that character in the tournament. And he did it over maybe the best player in the world, certainly one of the best players in the world in Punk. How did that happen? What went into that? Well, it didn't start out great for him. It started out in grand finals by him getting 0-3'd. Punk blew him up in the beginning. Then Mono turned it on. How did that happen? So we'll take a look at the character. We'll talk about the character matchups. We'll talk about the player decisions between these two. And to do that, let's go upstairs to the press box with our lovely press person, match analyzer, commentator extraordinaire, UltraDavid. All right, thanks a lot, David, for tossing it up here. As you can see, we're here at the lovely California Memorial Stadium in Berkeley, California. Looks like it's a great day for some match analysis, huh? Look at the weather out there. It looks great. Up here, there's people on Tightwad Hill up on that side who are watching. They didn't even pay a dime. What geniuses. They're hanging out up there. Good old Memorial Stadium. All right, well, we're going to be looking at, as David said on the field, Mono versus Punk. Let's talk a little bit about FANG. That character is not that bad. Okay, that's I think how I should phrase this. He's pretty good. He's not great. He's also definitely not terrible. He's somewhere in between, and that's about as good as it gets for FANG historically. He's a very interesting character. He's a character that I played a lot in Season 1. I really enjoyed, but also recognized that he wasn't very good. In the meantime, since then, he's been buffed and buffed and buffed. Almost every season, he gets at least some buff. But the thing is that they never buff him in a way that's very obvious. They don't give him the easy, clear stuff. Oh, let's give him a 3-frame button. What if he was fully invincible? What if he couldn't grab EX Command Dash? What if he had the ability to combo a light attack into a knockdown, etc.? They haven't done that. They've instead given him weird stuff. What if he could fly? What if he could cancel down forward fierce into stuff? What if V-Trigger 1 had an actual projectile? You know, all these things that in the end have in fact added up to a pretty legit character. And so Mono's been playing this character for many years at this point, and he is a very strong player, right? This is somebody who has had success, just hasn't had the big W of a CEO or something of that caliber before. Hasn't made it to Capcom Cup, although he hasn't been far away at times. He's had a good number of points in the past. Now his character's pretty good, and so he comes into the first major offline event in a year and a half with sort of that under his belt. A pretty good character, finally. His opponent is Punk. You all know Punk. He's one of the best, or maybe the best player in the world. And he's using Karin, who I currently consider to be the best character in the game. I don't want to phrase this as she's clearly the best, or she runs away with it. Street Fighter V is too balanced for that. I think she loses some matchups, for example. But I do think that overall she's very strong. She's the strongest. Let's just hop into it. We'll talk a little bit about Punk and Mono as we're watching. Okay, so here's a look at what's going on. You have Mono on the right side, you have Punk on the left, and you can see the audience, the CEO audience in the background. This is in person, it's offline, there's no lag, at least internet lag. And that's unique. It's been a while since that's been the case. As far as a little backstory for coming into this match in this tournament, this is grand finals, Mono's in winner's side. He sent Punk to loser's side in winners finals, and that was very close, but Punk did it using Vega and then Cammy, and not his main character of Karin. So in this grand finals, he's gonna go to Karin. Let's just start it out. We'll see how it goes.
Hoping that Punk is ready for this matchup. Only one set to get the Karin warm. He's played Karin for that long. Oh my
what a
God,
time.
already trying out some tricky stuff, but Mono ready for that.
So the way that we usually watch this through is to watch one round, and then we'll go back and rewind and check out anything in particular, sort of break it down. But this is the beginning of the top of the grand finals first set. That's not plus, yeah. Point blank, I believe that's 0. if I recall correctly. So in that round, I mean, it was really just a Punk round. It was really a Karin round. It's what the character can do. Every time he hits you, it's going to be a hit confirm. He's not going to miss any of those. It's offline. He's going to get that one almost 100%. And so the risk of getting hit, the risk of being in her range, I almost feel like this is Chun-Li in third strike range, where you know that if she's in crouching medium kick range or back fierce range, or standing strong for this character, or I guess stand fierce as well, to be honest, if you get hit there, good night. You're losing a quarter. You're getting Oki right away. It's a pretty good corner carry as well. It really reminds me of that kind of feeling. And so versus Punk, you know that. And so this is kind of a no man's land that's around here. Watch for that range as this goes on. And for FANG, he does have tools to keep her out of that range right there. He's got great buttons. Medium punch, crouching medium punch, stand, light kick, I think in particular. Yeah, there it is. Very good. Basically can't be whiff punished. Super, super hard to do that. And yeah, there it is. Like it's plus, it's on counter hit or at maximum range on hit. It's actually +7, and so you can combo into crouching strong. It's definitely good, but you can see how Mono's really worried about that range. That again is here. It's, you know, 1/3-ish screen. There it is. And the other thing to talk about that everybody talks about when they play against Punk is not just that his footsies are fantastic. Yeah, well, everything, right? He's just great in every way. It's that his throw game is amazing. He almost never does the same thing twice, is what people have told me who've played against him. And I mean, I'm talking about some of the best players in the world. Does say that. So Mono trying to chase, hoping to see a button that he could swing at. And Punk, look, I mean, he's got the significant life lead. Yeah, there's this range. I was just talking about how I think that there's a range. Oh my god. Let's see that. Let's see that again. He actually did miss a hit confirm in there, but whatever. We're just gonna keep moving on. So the range that I'm talking about where FANG can control is about here. You know, this is a range where he can walk up real quickly and press stand strong or crouching strong or stand light kick or something like that, and basically control. It's also a range where he can do EX sleeve, which he has one of, and you know, it's effective for him. Karin, from a little bit outside of that, maybe from, well, we'll see it very shortly. Yeah, from that range right there, that's the range where she gets to counterpoke. That's the beginning range where she gets to counterpoke. So she can whiff punish from there. Closer in is where she can just regularly hit confirm. Crouching strong, or sorry, crouching medium kick, well, crouching strong as well. Standing medium punch, stand fierce, like is a little bit closer in than this. So there are these ranges, okay? Think about these ranges. Closer in, Karin gets to hit confirm. She's a threat here. A little bit farther than that, FANG actually can control it decently. A little bit farther than that, Karin actually can begin whiff punishing. So there are these three ranges in this matchup, and this is a common thing in fighting games, you know, especially in grounded footsies, heavy fighting games like this one, where there are very specific ranges, and to walk forward a little bit or back a little bit means that the match changes. So keep that in mind as this moves on. I do agree. I like Dayasha. I mean, he's been a good dude for a long time. He's been a good host for a long time. I thought he did good stuff on this one. It was really cool. Shoutouts to him, of course. Buff Yipes, which he will now forever be known as.
Finding these counter hits.
Woo.
No, getting caught reaching. Punk looks to have
very quickly
started to dismantle the defense.
Yeah.
Of Mono.
And so you see him walk forward again right after that throw tech. We'll go back and look at it after the round ends here. Oh my gosh. After this throw tech, look at him move in. Look at him move in, right? Why does he get to do that? I mean, theoretically, either character could have walked forward. Theoretically, you know, Mono could have pressed medium punch right away, or even light kick right away. Why did Punk get to move forward? It's because, let's go backwards just a little bit here. You see after the range. So this is about the range where, you know, fierce becomes an issue. If she takes even a tiny step forward, crouching medium kick is going to become an issue. If she had walked backwards slightly, or maybe even at this range already, this is a range where whiff punishing becomes a possibility. So again, there's this kind of like smallish zone that FANG can control. In it, Karin has some more control. Outside of it, Karin has some more control. I should say, I think from further than that, FANG has some control. But right, this kind of reset situation is a range where, as Mono, I understand being cautious, especially, one more hit, he's going to be stunned. So Punk takes advantage of that right away.
And this is looking like such a strong start after such a close winners final side. I hope
Look at that. I feel like that's like mathematically exact that this throw killed. It's like the sequences that Punk did were like calculated to get to a range where back throw would kill. He's pretty good, I would say.
That's a hard storm to weather.
Punk is walking around a lot. One thing that he does a great job of is playing with his movement. It's never clear where Punk's going to be. It's very, very hard to know. You see him even walking backwards a little bit there. That kind of stuff might look like it's nothing, but it really has an impact on the opponents who are trying to guess at all times. Where's the opponent going to be? But Punk just doesn't let you know. Yeah, that's the safe setup. The up ball hits a little bit after the sweep. Right, offensive view reversal. Look at it back and forthing again. It's just really hard to know. Well, that's going to be the kill. And this has been fast. 2-0 really, really quickly. It was funny. I mean, I will say, let's go back briefly. Dayasha here. Here's Dayasha. When he doesn't have the mask on, it's very clearly not Yipes. Like, even if you don't know who Dayasha is, if you haven't met him before or seen him host before, without a mask on, like, super obvious, a different person. With the mask on, I get it. I still feel like I know him and I know Yipes, so like I know that it's not Yipes. But if you don't know him, I could see, getting it wrong. I get it. I get it. Anyway, hats off to him. Yeah, calling him buff Yipes. I mean, again, like he's really buff himself. Shout outs to Dayasha. But yeah, it's funny. That probably will last. So what sticks out to me in terms of why Punk is up 2-0 right now is that he's doing such a great job at being in the ranges that he can control a little bit better and doing such a great job at not making it clear for Mono where he can control. In fact, we'll go back and look at the beginning of this round as he kind of plays around with stuff as well.
Right, the poison trap getting out. One of the first times that we're able to see Mono really try to start a
what a dash after that. Now the EX sleeve is not punishable, but it's also it's not Fang's turn anymore. Punk stole a big turn with the dash. He's again just so hard to know where he's going.
Poison is on the deck right now for Punk.
Whoa, it was a jump with that big floaty Fang jump. Oh, wow. It just built. Okay, well, that's clearly going to kill. Let's go back to the beginning of this. Look at even the beginning of this round. Okay, so he comes in with the V skill. I mean, theoretically, Mono could have pressed a button there to interrupt it. Just didn't expect that to come. Fine. Afterward, light kick. Okay, like I said, that's really good. Light kick is a great button. In fact, I talked with Mono after this set, after he won the event. And he was like, dude, light kick is so strong. Like, he was really singing its praises. And I get it. It's really good. It's, like I said, it's +3 on block. It's +5 on hit. It's got this great range. It's really, really... You just can't whiff punish on reaction. It's too fast. If you wish punish it, that's possible. But not on reaction for sure. Anyway, after having blocked this, Punk... Look at this. Just outside of crouching strong. And he immediately responds to that with a dash. Immediately with a dash. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about where you just never know where he's going to go. Many people would see that crouching strong and think, okay, well, maybe I can whiff punish that, or, maybe they whiff a button themselves. Maybe they even get a hit into not much damage. But the way that Punk and Karin, the character that he uses, the way he plays her, he steals time and he steals space so well. Mono absolutely did not expect a dash forward here, and so he tries to react and gets counter hit. So even just little things like that, Punk is, again, very, very hard to get a read on. All right, let's go to the next round. It's the red jump. Hasn't done it very often. Yeah, Mono was maybe thinking about throw, or, I mean, whatever, right? He was trying to check it.
That's such a real shame on losing the bar too. Mono has been relying on EX lunge and EX
Oh.
command dash as the utilization of the tools moving back.
Wow, even there.
Punk building a little bit of extra bar.
Punk just going in. All right, look. He dropped it. Whatever. He ended up getting it. When I saw this, I thought it was over. I thought, well, Mono, his chance to win this is in the first set. That's what I was thinking about it. If he loses the first set, in my mind, my thinking, that's a tell that Punk has figured him out and he's going to not give up on that. Like, he's not going to get counter adapted. Again, I think Punk is maybe the best player in the world. So the fact that it was 3-0, it wasn't a close one. This was a blow up of a set. I thought it was over. So Mono then takes a little bit of time. Not even that much time. The commentators are saying that people were booing. So here's Mono thinking about it a little bit. And he told me later what he was thinking about. He told me he was thinking about how he was thinking about Punk's throw game. He was thinking about where Punk was standing. He was thinking about like which buttons he should be using more. What he said again was light kick came to mind for him. And those are the things he was thinking about. And he told me that he actually felt confident. After that set, after he lost that set, he came into the second set feeling good, feeling confident, which is, I think, a pretty remarkable mindset to take after having gotten dunked in that set, rather than taking the lesson of, well, okay, it's over, I'm dead. He took the opposite lesson. Aha, I see some things that I can change that I think are going to deal well with what Punk did that beat me so well. So anyway, here we go into the second set. Very similar opening as before. Remember last time it was light kick, after that time it was strong. Look at him backdashing. Okay, ooh, please, Kodak, get it together.
Absolutely, this is looking like the best round that Mono has had since this grand final started, but just like that, the party is starting.
Get it together.
That low forward confirm. We're making our way in. Mono doing a better job of contesting some of this forward movement, but it's still so difficult. Nice utilization of the poison trap to deal with the B skill.
A lot of buttons per minute for Mono, a lot more, I should say.
Yeah, putting up a little wall for himself.
And now with that B skill,
way too far, not punished, which is very rare. And then light kick, it was the button that we were talking about before. All right, well, let's talk about this round and what was different, because he won the round, and not just that he won the round, but he controlled pretty significant stretches of it. So even from right at the beginning, we're seeing some different button choices. Medium. I don't remember having seen that in this situation before. Not last round anyway. And then he pressed a button afterward. Now medium is plus. So it is Fang's turn. Crouching medium kick. I believe it's +3. Yeah, I just checked, it's +3. So like he can press a button after that. Not every button. What he presses is stand medium punch. And so he's taking a turn in a way that he kind of didn't really before. And then check out the backdashing. Backdashing, okay, the video is going to freak out yet again. Whatever, I guess that's how it's going to go. But take the double backdashing here as a sign that like he saw where it was that Punk was hanging out. He doesn't want to be there. That's the bad spot. He's backdashing to get back to a range where he can feel more comfortable. So he... Too bad, but he is being more active with his movement, with his buttons. There's clearly a difference going on. All right, let's go to the next round. Hopefully it won't be as janky. Right, think back to this post throw tech. Think back to that situation we did a little freeze frame on before on the right side when Punk had the corner against Mono, and how Punk walked forward. Well, he tried it. He tried dash forward even. He thought after, and I understand, after that set of 3-0ing somebody, he thought, I can steal all this space. It's going great. All my decisions in terms of when to move forward are working out. He dashes. Mono put an end to that right away. 6 frame stand light kick.
This is where Mono wants to be. Get that health down. Make him falter. Make him fall right there. Make him panic like he on the Titanic.
Yeah, again, the backdash. Again, more active with light kick. More active with buttons. That was really good, though.
And we're seeing the adaptations from Punk too. It's
Ooh.
not just Mono.
You know, he's out of the corner, I guess you would say. Oh my god. Oh, that's so terrifying. That reset situation, so good.
for that reset, you know the combo isn't going to kill, so you need
Okay,
to be
well,
mindful of what
there were certainly some differences there that we hadn't seen in the previous round and previous set, but also still a lot of strength from Punk. Yeah, he takes his turn after that. That's only +1, so a 3-frame character can do a trade against most of, well, against every option that FANG has.
And in your defensive options will be blown up by throws. You have to be careful. Hit your mono. V-reversal.
Right. Not quite as fast on the V-rev as he had been before.
Power crouch kick coming through in the hands too as well.
And then now the back walk after that throw tech, rather than light kick, rather than something else, he back walked. Interesting. So we're seeing a bunch of evolution, much changes on what he's doing there.
There's the sweep activate.
Him off the feet with the sweep.
Yeah, again, like I mentioned, his throw game. It's one of the things that everybody who plays against him talks about. Wow. Dude, you know what I love about this combo? Is that this combo depends in part on poison. Like, this is a poison damage combo in part. That's not a lot. Poison is only 50 damage, and it takes, you know, whatever number of seconds it takes to get there. So each like frame is not a lot, but it ends up killing because it like takes a while. I just think that's so cool. So there you go. So he takes a game. And like I said, I think that you can see changes with the button choice that he's doing. He's being more active about backdashing and getting to ranges that feel more comfortable for him. He is, but even a little bit closer than that, he's not kind of giving up on some of these ranges that Punk was controlling with his own excellent buttons. So there was Punk there at the beginning there, looking for a big button that he could counter poke. Yep, again, that's the range I talked about at the beginning, where Karin can counter poke pretty well. Yeah, he tries to dash there as well. Again, think about the difference between that and the first set. Yeah, counter hit.
V-shift out from Punk, and now we see in this pressure continue.
Backdash, he's out of there. There it is. Like I said, the light kick. Very significant. So think back again to those ranges I was talking about in the first set. How there's a range a little bit in front of FANG where Karin can control. Yeah, let's go back and look at this. Great round. Maybe we can find a situation. Yeah, okay, whatever, this is fine. So I was talking about this range that's kind of in front of FANG here, where her medium kick, well, all of her confirmable buttons just become very scary. And they freeze you. You don't want to get got by third strike Chun-Li, so you freeze up, so she gets Kara throw. That's Karin. From a little bit further than that, as you can see, and he's been more active here, there's been light kicks and crouching medium punches and the like, even stealing time with coward crouch kick, that kind of stuff sometimes. And then a little bit further outside of that, that's where Karin starts to be able to whiff punish, and we saw that, for example, like at round start in this round. We saw, yeah, Punk looking for a whiff punish, a counter poke right at that range, right? He's looking for a couple of these. There's one just a little bit later as well. Right. So that's that range. And then, so Karin has some control here. And then a little bit further than that, even like where he is now, and certainly where it ends up further in this round, where FANG has enough time to set out the carpet, he has enough time to set out V-skill, and he has enough time and space to kind of like be where he wants to be. And that is tough for Karin as well. So again, there are these ranges where the match can change pretty substantially.
The family's popping off in the back.
All right, look at these little hits here and there. Varying his timing on the coward crouch too, by the way. Not just coward crouch into immediate kick, but doing a little bit of a slower one. Backdashing, I mean, again, you can see, I think, a significant difference with how he's playing, where he's playing at, what his reactive buttons are, where he's controlling Karin a little bit more actively. Yeah, he would have taken, dude, look at the gray life he has. Oh my gosh. By the way, Crouching Strong's not plus, it's -2. It's just that he's finding a lot of really good timings and spacings to use it. I mean, I don't want to say that this is entirely one-sided, but I do think that there's so much going on. Wow, that was sick. What a great read by Punk. Even for him, I don't think that that's a reaction, but amazing read. Oh, and look at the backdashes. Oh, he dashed in against it. Wow, interesting. Interesting. Just briefly, because again, I don't want to make this seem like I think Punk is not like actively playing and really trying to find stuff. I was talking in the previous set about how good he is at playing with his spacing. He backdashes sometimes, and he jumps back sometimes, and he walks back sometimes, because he just doesn't want you to know where he's going to be. That's part of how he sets up whiff punishes and the like. And here, you could see that he is still trying to play that kind of way. Like, he doesn't... There's a range that's like, again, we've been talking about these ranges where Fang can control. He doesn't want to be there, so he himself gets out of there. Okay, maybe I can find my way back in afterward. You know, that's, I think, the mindset. It's just that what happens immediately after that is Mono then takes control again. So, all right, it's 2-0. And as you can see, the crowd's into it.
We told him the B trigger becomes a fireball. It becomes a real
I'm sure Punk knows that it becomes a fireball.
Mono on game point.
All right, we got to trade. All right, we're opening up the tick throw game here for Punk, but once again, the bravery of the counter pokes, and Punk...
Ah, okay, interesting, yeah. I feel like he might have been able to punish anyway at that. He was very close. It's -5, if I recall correctly. Anyway.
That's why he's getting really aggressive right here.
Oh, wow, that was a risky spot. Did you see the little stutter step? Look at how shifty Mono's getting.
Now he's, as you said, dictating the pace and placing where he puts the buttons. Now applying the poison, and as this goes down, as the health tick down,
his backdashes, I think, are so important in this.
He gets a little bit more open up.
Great hit confirm. Saw that she had dashed forward.
We got no resources on deck. Punk sitting pretty. You know Punk is gonna play.
Really? Wow, I thought that the down forward fierce was going to hit as well. Really, really good job by Punk. I guess that's just kind of like you might as well press the sweep. Like either you're blocking or you're going to get a whiff punish.
Didn't want to cash out the CA. Now we're in the
I've been talking about his throw game.
Another brave crouch jab. There's the activation of the V trigger. Now Mono.
You can hear people in the background. Oh man. Right. Okay. Oh, what's up, Mono? Mono says the good thing about V trigger 1 is that even though I'm blocking, he gets poisoned. So, you know, right, it's not just that it's a real projectile, and at range it becomes plus. But on top of that, it still does poison, so it's still effective in that way. So let's... He says, I activated to take the most life. Let's see, what do you mean by that? So activation, so it was here. What do you mean by that?
The throw game, 30 seconds left on the clock. Another brave crouch jab. There's the activation of the V trigger. Now Mono.
Ah, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay, yeah, because he's got the fart cloud around. Yeah, that makes sense. Right. So you see when Karin comes in, she's just right away poisoned. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. It's just a fart cloud around him, and so in order to get in and do damage, Punk has to basically lose life. And I think maybe many times that's not going to be super relevant, but when you already don't have... he already has the life amount that would kill him. Like, that, if he gets thrown, that is to say he would already lose. And at that range and below, in Street Fighter V, everybody's worried, right? That means you can't take the throw, and guesses become really serious. And any individual hit's going to kill. So yeah, I like that. I think that's a very interesting use.
Here we are again, on your own. Any poke will do it. Look at that. Mono is on tournament point.
That was cool. Very interesting decision. Ooh! There's that whiff punish range.
Tournament point, CEO, 2021, 3.5 points.
Right, blocking the low forward. Even Mono waits that extra little bit of time before walking.
Right. Look at these series too. He's stealing some time in here. I'll go back and look at that, but I think that's a really like a sign of how much control he feels that he has at this point.
But having to use the V reversal in part to get the poison stack.
Nice. Oh, that was weird. There you go. Oh man, look at this guy. Oh man, this was so nice. This was so nice. That was cool. And then friends rush the stage. That's so cool. Congrats. That's amazing. So to go from losing 3-0 in the first set to winning 3-0 in the second set's a big change. Yeah, were there too many people on stage? Maybe so. But so it was. Oh yeah, there was this button series that I wanted to talk about. So he did, I think it comes just after this. Right, okay, so it's crouching strong. He then does light kick, which I think is probably nothing that can be done about that. How much crouching strong? Actually, it was only +1. Okay, I thought that was +2. So this isn't actually a freestand light kick. Interesting. Anyway, he goes for it anyway. And then after that, right, so stand light kick is +3. Then stand medium punch. There's a 4-frame gap in here. Stand medium punch is minus. It's -3. And then he does down forward fierce, which is 100-frame startup. What is it really? It's 12. 12-frame startup. So I think that series right there, as corrupted as the file looks, is kind of an indication of how much control he feels he has at this range. And this is a range that, this is, let's see. Right? Yeah, this is the range we were talking about. Just outside of like her crouching medium kick and that kind of stuff. Right, but that's, again, I think that's just after that, outside of sweep range, he then gets the whiff punish. This button series to me is like the indication that he really felt like he had control. And in fact, he was right about that.
The whiff punish on the sweep.
Doesn't land like Mono stacking step to get the box. No
poison definitely added up. Definitely added up.
But having to use the V reversal in part to get the poison stacks away, which means that we're not going to mix it. The DP gets baited.
Okay, yeah, so what happened here? If you notice, he did not have EX meter yet. That's what he's saying in the chat. So he did fierce, right? Okay. On crush counter, you get to cancel that into command dash and then do fierce again. And he thought that this was going to build EX meter. And he was very close. He was very, very close, but not quite. So instead, he came out with this funky, unintentional reset. You know, Punk to his credit, immediately pressing buttons. I think that's pretty cool. But all right, there you go. So Mono ends up taking it. As far as the people, yeah, you know, it was funny on commentary. Like I said, I think that the commentators, Brad M and St. Cola, did a great job. I was really happy for them. You can see in the background, Puerto Rican players are already going nuts. That's so cool. They were talking about Mono's family. As he's saying in the chat, these are actually not his family members, but they're, you know, a lot of good friends that he had here. People who he's known for a long time. People who, you know, go to events that he organizes, etc. And that's great. Like, I thought that was super cool. But yeah, not actually family. In any case, whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah, FGC family.
Oh my God, they're rushing the whole stage. They're rushing the whole.
If you had done V-skill, oh, interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. So what you could have done after that DP was, as Karen's up in the sky, put out V-skill 1, which doesn't have hit stun. So then he's poisoned, and then you do stand fierce into the combo, and then at that point you probably have activation. Yeah, that's cool. That would have been cool. It's pretty cool.
You see how much this means to him.
Yeah, that's great. Super cool.
How much this means.
The reverse 3-0 after that.
A little bit more damage because of the poison in that combo. Anyway, rushing the stage like UCLA beat Ohio State in a bowl game. Let's head back to the press box. Thanks a lot for joining us here again in California Memorial Stadium, where the University of California Golden Bears play. As you can see, this field right here, let me tell you about rushing the field. Let's move actually. From this spot right here. Back when I was in college, my friends and I, the frat that I was in, we colonized the spot. This is the student section. And we, through various fratly means, I guess, made it known that these relatively front seats were basically where we sat every week. Don't sit there, other people. I don't know how that happened, but it did. And so when Cal beat USC in 2003, maybe, That was huge. And we rushed the field, and my friends ripped down the goalposts. You know, we were hooligans. You know how it goes. It's kind of a quiet game there. Actually, this is as loud as it ever gets. It's tough times and has been basically forever. Anyway, congratulations again to Mono for taking it, for winning CEO. Really happy for you. Proud of you. Congratulations. You're awesome. And for Punk, you know, to Punk's credit, afterward, he just tweeted something like, FANG is hard. Congratulations to Mono. He played amazing. Like, it was something like that. And that's right? Like, he... First of all, as I said, I think that Karin's the best character in the game, but also that I don't think that she wins every matchup. I think she loses some and goes even with many. And this is a matchup that I have heard other Karins say in the past, it can be hard. I think that it was the right call for him to go with Karin, because that's his best character. As I said, in Winners Finals, he went with Vega, and he went with Cammy, and that just didn't cut it. So I like that he went with Karin. That seems like the right pick to me. But shout-outs to Mono for making it work. Good job. All right, let's head back to UltraDavid on the field. Thanks a lot to UltraDavid, as always, for the analysis up there. Unfortunately, it looks like we still have some production issues. You know, David in production back there is just got to step his game up. We've already fired a few of the production assistants that we used to have, and it looks like there's going to be more on the chopping block. One of these days, we'll get there. Thanks a lot for watching Monday Morning Quartersback. We do this each Monday at around 11 a.m. Pacific time. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.